First, let me begin by saying that unfortunately I've had to put Roxy on temporary furlough due to her unwillingness to assist me with the production of these videos. She seems to want to do it her way, and I've had to tell her that I'm the candidate and she's the employee, if you will. I am her master. And so her insolence has led to her temporary suspension from her duties. Sorry to report that. Maybe I can bring her back later. Now, if you listen closely, underneath the wonderful tone of my voice, you will hear a song playing lightly in the background. There's a reason for that. That song is called Breakfast at Dick's. A lot of my opponents apparently think that I have some kind of inside source or undercover operative within the City of Newton organization, which in and of itself is laughable. But it is true that I get a lot of phone calls and I get a lot of text when things are said loudly, sometimes under the influence of alcohol, in public arenas. It seems that a city council member from Newton and a second city council member from another city were having breakfast and speaking loudly and somewhat humorously about a recent code enforcement complaint lodged against yours truly. Election time does bring about strange events. It is accurate that I found code enforcement, that would be from the Western Piedmont Council of Governments, in the very close vicinity of several buildings that either I own or my family owns. One particular building, I was inside working, as I usually do, when I noticed the pickup truck pull into my parking lot and photographs started being taken. I went outside and introduced myself to the code enforcement officer, who was very professional, and I was direct. And after a conversation, we basically came to an agreement on how to handle the situation that had been reported to the Western Piedmont Council of Governments. Of course, I asked who filed the complaint, and I was told I can't tell you that, which I know is what's normally said, but I take the position that that is not something that the government can keep secret, and I will take appropriate action. But not long after that, say the next morning, during breakfast hours, I received a phone call and a text from a friend of mine who overheard the conversation I've described before. And so I know now who filed the complaint and who has the information that's not supposed to be released, because it came from his lips. And luckily, he even left the card behind so everybody knew who he was. So the song that's being played in the background is in their honor, the complainant and the gossiper. And I will probably release that song, but I'll give everybody a few days to do the right thing and call me and to apologize for using the municipal powers of the City of Newton against a candidate. Now, that's not likely to happen, but if it does, I'll take the song down and never play it again. If nothing happens, you know I won't be able to help myself, and I'll be playing a great song about breakfast at Dick's. Now, my apologies to any restaurant that may think that they're the restaurant where this occurred at. You should not take the name to heart, but it just seemed appropriate for the day. Now let's move on to something else. In the same vein, I'll move on to another specific topic in the overall topic of people that can't keep their mouths shut. Several months ago, best I can remember, not long after the announcements of candidacy, another friend of mine, a trustworthy individual if there ever was one, mentioned that while this person was entering a city office, that this person overheard a conversation between a sitting council member and an unknown person about my candidacy and how they were going to deal with me. We already know that Mayor Hodge thinks I'm some bad hombre. I'm sorry, I misstated that. Some bad hombre. The H is silent. So I must really be an evil, nasty person, because the way they're going to deal with me, according to this overheard loud conversation, is to try to provoke me into showing my temper and losing control to where the whole world will know I cannot deal with anger. I have anger management. I need to calm down. By the way, all that was faked. I'm pretty calm today. And then just a couple days ago, it came up again. It's been posted several times on Facebook. Bill, just calm down. If I use capital letters, or maybe I'm very passionate about something I say, I hear, Bill, calm down. It's kind of a joke, really, but it's also very damn pathetic that that's the best that they've got. Because I deal with facts, I research, I plan, and I speak accurately. So, I'm calm and very amused by all this, because we haven't heard a whole lot from anybody directly involved in this election. We're hearing from proxies and plants, and every once in a while one of the candidates, other than the three of us, that would be myself, Mr. Wright, and Mr. Gilliland, will sputter something. And I know that's going to change as we get closer to the election, and that's a good thing. So there are no secrets when you go to a bar, drink, and spill your strategy. Or you go to breakfast and you speak out of turn about matters that are truly none of your business. So I'll continue on with what I'm doing, and we'll see how the citizens address all the issues that myself and Scott Gilliland and Riesel Wright have brought up during this very spirited campaign.
Thank you for watching today. William D. Powell, candidate for City Council, and the committee to elect Bill Powell to Newton City Council are solely responsible for the content of this program, and there were no costs associated with its production.